had to admit, to herself at least, that she was intrigued. Will lifted the bottle and poured more wine into Natalie's glass. "What are you planning to do after law school?" "I'm going to move back to Florida and hopefully get a job with a public defender's office to learn the ropes," Nat said promptly. "Then, once I have some experience, I'm going to open my own criminal law practice." "Are you always so indecisive?" Will grinned at her. Natalie was slightly put off by Will's grin. Yes, it was sexy and charming, but she had the feeling that Will trotted it out whenever he wanted people to think he was sexy and charming. She had never liked players. "You don't know what you want to do yet?" Will shrugged. "I guess wherever I can get a job. If I can get a job. The market for new lawyers isn't exactly hopping at the moment." The waitress appeared with 2 salads, lightly dressed, and set them down on the table. "This looks very tasty," Will said once the waitress had left. "And by eating it, I'm taking care of my monthly vegetable serving." "You're not a veggie person?" "I like vegetables that look and taste like meat. Or tacos." Natalie wrinkled her nose. "Ick." "Just what every guy hopes to hear on his first date." Will grinned at Nat again, and this time she couldn't help but return the smile. "But you must have some idea of what kind of law you want to practice," she said, returning to their pre-salad conversation. "I know I don't ever want to be inside a courtroom if I can help it," Will said, spearing lettuce on his fork. "But beyond that, I have no idea." "Really? I think being in court would be much more interesting than spending all day in an office. It's partly why I want to go into criminal law." "What's the other part?" "You know," Nat waved a hand, "standing up for the wrongly accused. Truth, justice, the American way, all of that high-minded stuff." "You might be missing a fairly big downside," Will suggested. He pushed his plate away and leaned forward, propping his elbows on the white tablecloth. "Like what?" "All of your clients will be criminals." Natalie lifted one finger. "Accused criminals." "Okay, but if you only defend the wrongly accused, you'll starve slowly, or maybe starve quickly. Odds are pretty good that you'll be spending a large portion of your time with some pretty despicable people." Will was enjoying the back and forth. He'd had a crush on Nat since they'd met on that first day of contracts class. For one thing, she was hot, with her compact, athletic body and long, wavy brown hair, and Will very much approved of her fondness for short skirts. But he also liked Nat's dry wit and the way her blue eyes lit up when she was engaged in a conversation. He kept finding himself wanting to impress her. "You might want to think your plan through." "Not a chance. Besides, people who've been accused of committing a crime," Nat began. "You mean criminals," Will interrupted. "Innocent until proven guilty," Nat corrected him, although her smile softened the reprimand. "How different are they from you and me? They're just people, some of whom made bad choices, yes, but some of whom just ended up in bad situations, or had a run of bad luck. Couldn't that happen to anyone?" The waiter appeared. He poured the rest of the wine into their glasses, then cleared the salad plates. "Your entrees will be right out." "Thank you," Nat said, smiling at him. Once the waiter left, Will said, "It might not be politically correct to say so, but for starters, most criminals, most people accused of committing a crime, aren't as smart as you and I are." "That is arrogant." Nat stared at him in disbelief. She should have known that anyone who had an endless supply of striped Oxford shirts and who wore loafers without socks would not be her type. "Why?" "Because it's cocky, and superior, and smug." "Cocky, superior, and smug, huh? Don't hold back. Let me know how you really feel." "You can't go around saying that you're smarter than..."